almost instantly. Her eyes widened larger than brass bells. Shen Yuxi didn't expect Si Qingqing to make such a face. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Raising an eyebrow slightly, she asked gloomily, "What is it?" Si Qingqing remained silent. She had always thought that a woman like Boss Shen would definitely find a super domineering CEO for a boyfriend. Only a domineering CEO could match Boss Shen's cold and aloof soul. She never expected it to be this guy. The new intern, Lin Yuan, her impression of him was that he was smiley and humble. He even cracked jokes from time to time.
That kind of vibe has absolutely nothing to do with a domineering CEO. Okay?
Could it be that Boss Shen is into this type? This is just too unbelievable. Seeing him not moving, Shen Yuki's cold and arrogant voice carried a hint of amusement. "Why are you spacing out? Waiting for me to spoon feed you?" This Si Qingqing was always so loud and chaotic all day. She didn't act like an assistant at all. Hearing this, Si Qingqing hurriedly waved her hands. "Boss Shen, enjoy your meal. It'll be heading out now." After saying that, she quickly ran out. She didn't want to eat with Boss Shen. Boss Shen had been keeping her figure these past few days,
Eating like a rabbit.
she was a professional foodie. She didn't want to be a rabbit. Just now, when getting the rice, she saw that the cafeteria had braised pork trotters today. Si Qingqing quietly slipped away. In the spacious office, only Lin Yuan and Shen Yuqi were left. Shen Yuqi sat on the sofa next to Lin Yuan, crossing her beautiful legs. She picked up the chopsticks on the table that Si Qingqing had laid out. With a graceful movement of her slender, fair fingers, she gently picked up a cherry tomato and popped it into her mouth, her red lips moving slightly. Watching the beauty eat, Lin Yuan gulped. Not because he was craving it, but because he genuinely didn't know where to start. "How am I supposed to eat this?" Lin Yuan was a bit curious. "Sister Qian, do you normally only eat this stuff? I haven't had time to work out lately. If I want to keep my figure, I have to eat light." After Shen Yuqi spoke, she picked up another cherry tomato. Lin Yuan was astonished. Good lord, she's already this skinny and still wants to lose weight. You couldn't blame Lin Yuan for being surprised. Shen Yuqi's figure was truly stunning. Standing at 1.7 meters with perfect, slender shoulders, there wasn't an ounce of extra fat on her arms. Her tiny waist looked like it could be held in one hand, and her long legs were perfectly straight and slender. Absolutely flawless. Delicate and fair, so supple it looked like water could be pinched out of it. Someone like this still wants to lose weight. Shen Yuqi saw the overly shocked expression on his face and found it amusing. A hint of joy slipped into her arrogant tone. "Flattering me won't get you a raise." He had to admit, this guy really knew how to compliment someone. "It seems my image in his heart is quite high. Health is the greatest asset of the revolution. A good figure is just a bonus." After saying that, he looked at the sea of green on the table again. "I need to add a chicken leg today. If she isn't eating meat, I still have to." Lin Yuan decisively stood up and ran out of the CEO's office. He had to go buy a chicken leg. Having lunch without meat.
Isn't that just a joke?
Watching Lin Yuan's retreating back, Shen Yuxi's bright eyes showed a hint of helplessness. "We're in the middle of eating. Where is he going?" Leaving the CEO's office, Lin Yuan headed straight for the first floor cafeteria. He grabbed 2 chicken legs and noticed they also had some nuts. He couldn't resist grabbing a portion of nuts too. Chicken legs and nuts. Thinking about Shen Yuqi wanting to lose weight, he conveniently bought a cup of yogurt as well. Only then did he carry the food he had gathered and quickly sprinted back to the CEO's office. With Lin Yuan gone, Shen Yuqi simply stopped eating. Instead, she returned to her desk to review some documents. Before she could even turn 2 pages, she heard Lin Yuan's voice. "Chan Can, come eat this. The chicken legs in our cafeteria are seriously amazing." Because it was winter, the temperature was quite low. Lin Yuan was afraid the meat would get cold, so he walked very fast. As he came through the door, he looked a bit out of breath. Beneath his buzz cut on his broad forehead, a fine layer of sweat had formed. He was holding 2 disposable lunchboxes in his hands, smiling at her. When this clean-cut young man looked at her, his eyes and brows were full of smiles. Shen Yuxi was slightly taken aback. So he was in such a rush, just to go buy chicken legs for her. This guy actually seemed to know how to take care of people. Buying food is just buying food. What's the rush? Her face remained expressionless, but her fair hand pulled a tissue from the box and handed it over. Along with the tissue came Shen Yuxi's unique fragrance. There are reports that say, smelling a scent you like will make you subconsciously relax and put you in a good mood. Lin Yuan felt this report was spot on. This was the second time he smelled Shen Yuki's scent. It wasn't perfume. It was a faint floral scent, like lilies blended with jasmine. Subtle and elusive. Lin Yuan really liked this scent. He casually took the tissue. When their fingertips brushed against each other, he could clearly feel the softness of her fingers. The two sat back down on the sofa. Lin Yuan picked up his chopsticks, grabbed a chicken leg, and placed it in Shen Yuki's bowl. "Boss Shen, this chicken leg is a must-order at our cafeteria." Because he ran fast, the chicken leg was still steaming hot. Lin Yuan was very satisfied with this. After saying that, he put the other one in his own bowl. Once the chicken legs were sorted, Lin Yuan placed the yogurt in front of Shen Yuxi. Drinking yogurt is the best for weight loss. It promotes digestion. Looking at the yogurt in front of her and the chicken leg in her bowl, a strange feeling began to spread in her heart. His care was genuine. It wasn't flattery, nor was it a deliberate attempt to curry favor. It was just like the elders in his family group chat. Natural, sincere, and casual. It made people feel very comfortable. She didn't expect this carefree guy to have such a thoughtful side, just so she could eat a hot chicken leg. He ran until he was sweating. Knowing she was losing weight, he specifically brought back yogurt. Looking at him, Yuxi inexplicably felt a trace of fondness. In the prime of his youth, with clear skin, handsome, and quite capable too. Someone like him should be very attractive. So why didn't he have a girlfriend yet? Shen Yuxi's beautiful eyes shifted slightly, looking at Lin Yuan curiously. Why aren't you dating anyone? Lin Yuan swallowed the rice in his mouth. That's a sharp question. Why aren't you dating anyone? Shen Yuxi didn't expect Lin Yuan to turn the question on her. She said flatly, dating means having to get married. Marriage is basically a gamble, and reality has proven that 9 times out of 10 you lose the bet. I don't like gambling. Lin Yuan didn't hesitate at all. I'm not as deep as you think. It's just that nobody wants to date me. After saying that, he stuffed a piece of pork trotter into his mouth. Right after graduating, he poured all his energy into international competitions. He barely had enough time, let alone time to find a partner. Such an answer was so incredibly honest and straightforward. So straightforward that Shen Yuxi couldn't hold back, and burst out laughing right then and there, seeing her brows relax, starlight dancing in her charming eyes, and her red lips curving into a smile. Lin Yuan felt the temperature in the entire office rise. She was genuinely smiling so happily. But could you tell me? What's so funny about this? Laughing so genuinely like that is going to make me really embarrassed, you know? Seeing Lin Yuan's resentful gaze, Shen Yuxi smiled radiantly. I just didn't expect the reason to be so simple. Such an outstanding guy, yet nobody likes him. I haven't been graduated for long. I'm in the prime of my youth. You're making it sound like I've let down 8 generations of my ancestors. Speaking of auntie, Shen Yuxi frowned slightly. Oh right, we still haven't taken the picture. After saying that, she hurriedly picked up her phone. How could she forget something so important? She quickly tapped into the family group chat, decisively snapped a photo, and sent it to the group. Su Kuifan had been waiting for Shen Yuxi's message for over half an hour. Hearing her phone ping, she didn't even bother washing the dishes. She decisively pulled off her gloves and grabbed her phone. Sure enough, her daughter-in-law had spoken. She excitedly tapped on the photo. But the more she looked at it, the more something felt off. The distance between these 2 meals was too far. Logically speaking, this is their honeymoon phase. They should be wishing they could share the same bowl of rice. But in this photo, one meal is in the top left corner, and the other is in the top right corner. This proves the 2 of them are sitting very far apart. On this side, seeing Shen Yuxi send the photo, Lin Yuan also put down his chopsticks. He picked up his phone, ready to wait for his mom's reply. Normally, when Shen Yuxi spoke, it wouldn't take more than 3 seconds for his mom to absolutely reply to the message. But today, there was no reaction for half a minute. Intuition told him that something was definitely wrong. He quickly tapped on the photo Shen Yuxi had sent. With one look, he spotted the clue. Don't be fooled by his mom's usual easygoing nature. Whenever it came to his marriage, she was as sharp as a needle. There was a problem with this photo. Lin Yuan briefly explained it to Shen Yuxi. He even analyzed his mom's current mood and figured out more than half of what she was thinking. After Lin Yuan's explanation, Shen Yuxi also felt that things weren't looking good. So what do we do now? Unless they sent an intimate photo of the 2 of them, they wouldn't be able to make up for it. It's just that this request wasn't something he could easily say out loud. Shen Yuxi looked at Lin Yuan. Right now, he was holding his phone, trying to think of a way. This should solve the problem, right? Let's take a picture holding hands. Without hesitation, she sat next to Lin Yuan. As a pleasant fragrance wafted over, Shen Yuxi's captivating queen-like voice rang out. Give me your hand. Lin Yuan froze for a moment. He instinctively blinked, even though he had just thought about wanting to hold Boss Shen's hand. Actually doing it now made him more or less a bit panicked. He blinked and obediently offered his hand. The next second, Shen Yuxi's cool arm draped over his arm. Her slender, fair hand slid up along his forearm and finally covered his palm. Right after, their 10 fingers intertwined. Big sister's palm was slightly cold, and the skin on the back of her hand was even softer and more delicate. Holding a hand like this, Lin Yuan's heartbeat involuntarily sped up. Aside from holding his little sister's hand when they were kids, he had never held another woman's hand. Don't be fooled by Shen Yuxi taking the initiative. She was actually panicking inside. Even her voice carried a hint of tension. This was her first time holding a guy's hand, especially when she squeezed slightly. That solid sense of security enveloped a secret thrill. Lin Yuan held up his phone and decisively pressed the shutter. The whole process was seamless. The photo captured the guy's hand, completely wrapping around the girl's slender, fair hand. It looked full of protectiveness. With their lunch as the background, it added an extra layer of warmth. Lin Yuan was very satisfied with this photo. He held the phone out in front of Shen Yuxi. My photography skills aren't bad, right? Shen Yuxi's face flushed red. Trying to look calm, she glanced at Lin Yuan. Could you let go before you speak? Are you addicted to holding it?
Why haven't you let go yet?
I froze, instinctively looking down at my hand. Oh, I still haven't let go.
No, wait, sister.
No, wait, sister. Listen to me explain. The phone buzzed. I quickly let go of her hand. Looks like I really do understand my mom best. Su Kuifan had indeed replied to the message.
You brat? Don't just focus on eating by yourself.
Take good care of little Xi. Seeing the message from Su Kuifan, both of them felt much more relieved. Perhaps because of the hand holding just now, the atmosphere had taken on a slightly unnatural vibe. Neither of them said anything else. They both picked up their chopsticks and started eating. Just as they were about to finish eating, Shen Yuxi's phone rang. The caller ID displayed Mom. The moment she answered the call, I clearly saw in her beautiful eyes
A flash of helplessness.
I didn't say anything and just kept eating. Your dad already said it. If you plan on staying like this forever, then tell us early so we can go adopt 2 kids. That way when you're old, you'll have someone to take care of you. And it won't get to the point where the Shen family's business has no heir.
Even if you never get married your whole life?
Well, make sure you have both a son and a daughter.
On the other end of the line was a middle-aged woman. Her attitude was very nice, and her voice was gentle. It's just that those words were incredibly harsh to the ear. I couldn't help but sigh in amazement. This big sister's mom is even fiercer than mine. No boyfriend. Straight to adopting kids. Terrifying. Shen Yuxi seemed to be used to this kind of forced marriage pressure. She was already too familiar with it. She had no expression, just flatly saying, if you two want to adopt, I have no objections. I'll explain it to my boyfriend later. That it's dad's illegitimate child. People's gossip is a terrifying thing. That's why he asked you to help raise him. After all, the Shen family has a massive business. Having an illegitimate child isn't exactly surprising. She said it so casually, like she was talking about the weather. I almost spit out my food. The person on the other end of the line didn't seem surprised by this tone at all. They've been bickering like this for a long time. But she was genuinely shocked. You have a boyfriend. Shen Yuxi glanced at Lin Yuan. She replied expressionlessly. I do. The person on the phone sounded skeptical. Don't tell me this is just another trick to deal with us. Did you make this all up? Just to mess with us. Let me tell you something. The truth will always come to light. And I wasn't born yesterday. Whether it's true or not, I'll know once I come over and see for myself. I'm busy with work. I'm hanging up. After Shen Yuxi said that, she decisively hung up the phone. Just from this phone call alone, I can guarantee this auntie is definitely not easy to deal with. I tentatively spoke up. Sister Ji, was that your aunt? Shen Yuxi nodded. She clearly hadn't shaken off her frustration yet.
You heard everything.
Why are you even asking?
She stood up, poured a glass of water, and walked over to the window. So, this is exactly why. I need you to bring your clothes over. And not just your clothes. We have to create the illusion that we're living together. I gulped. So we're really doing this, huh? We actually have to live together. Shen Yuxi crossed her arms. Her eyes were full of absolute certainty.
That's right.
Ever since I mentioned it in the family group chat about us living together. Then you regretted it and got a headache. I didn't expect the big boss to play this kind of game. I couldn't help but start fantasizing about my days living with the boss. The boss wearing a silk nightgown giving me a massage, paired with that pleasant queen-like voice of hers. Realizing my thoughts were wandering too far, I quickly snapped back to reality. At that moment, Si Qingqing had just returned from lunch. She originally wanted to check if Boss Shen had finished eating, so she could clear the dishes. But unexpectedly, right as she reached the door, she heard Boss Shen's voice. I'll send you the address. Make sure you come over tonight. Be there after work, or else? Si Qingqing's face turned visibly red in an instant.
Oh my god, they're moving way too fast.
It's only been one day and they're already having a late-night rendezvous. At this rate, in a couple of days, won't Boss Shen be going on maternity leave? While she was still spacing out, she saw me walking out of the office. Si Qingqing blushed. Hello, Designer Lin. Hez President Shen's boyfriend now. If I give him a bad attitude, what if President Shen replaces me? I wouldn't even have a place to cry. I looked at her. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, but trying to explain it seemed pointless. With this kind of thing, the more you explain, the worse it looks. I headed back to the design department. It was a bit empty. There weren't many people around. I sat down and logged into the International Design website. After logging in, I clicked on the registration tab. A message popped up. Congratulations, your registration is successful. The competition will begin on December 18th. Looks like I'm officially registered. The 18th is still 2 weeks away. I exited the page. Suddenly, I noticed my notifications had spiked to over 90 today. I clicked to check them out. Divi Orgulpon 0. Underneath a design draft I posted not long ago, someone was provoking me. The provocateur's name was Liao Yuan Muge. Hez a designer with quite a large following. You could consider him a minor influencer.
Liu Yuan Muge.
Forgive me for being blunt, but this piece is absolute garbage in my eyes. It has zero unique features. It completely fails to highlight the minimalist style. Sing burp lavuthuan de papel, followed by a picture of a minimalist design draft with the same theme as mine. Below that were countless comments. Xiao Qingyi, I still think God Yuan's design is better. It fits market demands much better. Drafting is hard. Harder than ascending to heaven. I feel like Muge's draft is the true work of a master. Compared to this, God Yuan's draft doesn't seem to have any special flair. Don't speak. Is this Muge guy just here to leech off God Yuan's clout?
What the hell is this? Leech, have you even seen how many followers Muge has?
As for leeching clout, I, a member of the Mu army, refuse to accept this. As for this designer, Liuyan Muje, I actually know of him. He has a decent fan base. Hugh Ignen Buna Him Bugini 103 Burp Unalu.
Boogie is my top all ion bu una him Hugh Kem Buwak Ugal.
Honestly, I just threw this design together casually, mainly to meet the minimalist demands of the majority of clients. Nowadays, most people choose a minimalist style for their homes. The main goal is still to optimize space. While keeping it minimalist, it can also free up a few extra square meters of space for residential areas where every inch of land is worth its weight in gold. This kind of design is the most practical. In the comments, quite a few people thought my draft was good, and quite a few thought Liao Yuan Muge's draft was better. I wasn't really interested in the comments. After all, everyone has their own style. However, I had a huge problem with Liu Yuan Muge's draft. The title clearly says minimalist, but this retro style has absolutely nothing to do with it. Using a semicircular brick wall
With polished cement walls.
and cement floors, it feels like if you just tossed a torch in there, you could sit on the floor and start roasting a wild chicken. I couldn't help but comment, bro.
Let's put aside the issue of whether this is off topic or not.
Have you ever considered how the people living in it would feel? Are they supposed to devolve back into cavemen? I really can't agree with this.
You call this kind of design a masterstroke?
More like the stroke of an amateur. Designing isn't just about aesthetics. More importantly, you have to consider the convenience of the residents. With this arched doorway, you'd have to duck every time you go in and out. You're telling me that wouldn't be annoying. Criticisms aside, I still decided to draw another draft to make up for the flaws in my previous one. I closed the website. I picked up the pencil on my desk, getting ready to draw a sketch. By now, the people who went to lunch had returned. It was 1:30 p.m. Some were chatting quietly, some were scrolling on their phones. Everyone was doing their own thing. Shu turned his head and saw me. Lin Yuan, holding a pencil, hunched over the desk with an incredibly serious expression. He couldn't help but be curious. Shaolin, what are you doing? Technology is so advanced nowadays. There's plenty of drafting software out there. Generating a draft is way more convenient than drawing by hand. It's the standard now. Most designers just draw directly on the computer. I still prefer sketching on paper first. Once I'm satisfied, I'll digitize it. But Lin Yuan still preferred hand drawing. It was like making a rough draft. Only after drafting do you write the final answer on the exam paper. Just felt an itch to doodle a bit. I said, my hands never stopping. Hearing that, I was drawing by hand again. Shu was extremely surprised.
Damn, you're actually hand drawing.
You know, it only takes 3 minutes with software, right? Drawing by hand takes an hour. Plus, you still have to make edits. And it doesn't even look as good as a computer render. Hearing that I was still hand drawing. It wasn't just Shu. The others who had just walked in were also shocked. No way, Brother Yuan. You still draw by hand. Xiao Wang adjusted his glasses. He spoke as he walked over to me. He mainly just wanted to see my draft. After all, I had just joined the company and already produced a draft that surpassed the designs of the senior designers. I could read him like a book. He genuinely wanted to see more of my designs, so he could study and learn from them. Seeing Xiao Wang walk over, I smiled. What's up? Trying to steal my trade secrets, I joked, generously handing him the draft to look at. Honestly, it was just a rough sketch. Aside from the basic layout of the house, you couldn't really make out anything else. He frowned. I can't really see anything at all. Isn't this kind of pointless? I haven't even started the actual design yet. How could you possibly see anything? Can't you tell? This is my minimalist style, I joked. Xiao Wang shook his head. With a serious face, he said, no, it's not. Hearing our exchange, Shu also got curious. He walked over wanting to see this minimalism that Xiao Wang couldn't figure out. He took one glance and shot me a glare. Give it a rest. You only know how to bully Xiao Wang. This is just a layout. How are you supposed to see a style from this? I laughed. Exactly. Brother do you usually browse Kunin? Kunin is the abbreviation for the International Design website. The English name translates to Kunin. Shu is considered a veteran designer. How could he not browse Kunin? He chuckled. What's up? Want me to follow you? Trying to trick me into becoming your fan. I joked back. That's not a bad idea. Why don't you become my fan? Honestly, it was just a joke. Even the top designers on Kunin only have a little over 100,000 followers, but my account has only been registered for a little over a month. Loa Una Lucy, peep top all in buos. It was clear that quite a few designers recognized my work. At the mention of Kunan, Zhao Lin, who was scrolling on his phone, couldn't stay calm anymore. He looked at everyone excitedly.
Oh, right. Speaking of Kunan,
Last night, two heavyweights got into a fight. Lu Manman Chi Shuyan and Liao Yuan Muge got into an argument. To be exact, Muge started a debate with God Yuan. Don't let my usually laid-back demeanor fool you. Whenever design is brought up, I get fired up immediately. Seeing Zhao Lin talk, his eyes practically lit up. What do you guys think of Muge's draft? That draft is seriously outstanding. Zhao Lin pouted. It was as if Muge's work was appearing right before his eyes again. I was speechless at him. Holy crap, God Yuan replied. Looks like the gods are clashing. Chen Kexin, sitting at the back, also joined the conversation. He had just been browsing the web too. He didn't expect to see God Yuan's response to Muge. He instantly got excited. You have to understand, Liao Yuan Muge is one of the star designers at Shenzhen Company. Has someone who charges a design fee of 1,000 yuan per square meter. Out of 10 clients, 9 of them specifically ask for Wu.
Moo!
The sales department practically worships him. It's just a pity that designer Wu has a terrible temper. He loves cursing people out, so he doesn't really have any friends. The only person he can hold a conversation with is probably Nan Huan, who is also a top designer like him. Muge is seriously top tier. Boon Inviyib by Onal. If only I could be like Muge, that would be amazing. Everyone chimed in one after another. They started expressing their admiration for Liao Yuan Muge. It wasn't necessarily genuine admiration. It was just because he was a top designer. Plus, his drafts were so beloved by clients. There had to be a reason for his success. If they personally said they didn't like it, wouldn't that just prove that they didn't understand design at all?
Wouldn't that make them a laughingstock?
So, to avoid making others think they were clueless, even if they didn't like it, they still had to